Hey guys, it's Gerald here. In this video, I'm going to go over how I went from $0 to over $1 million in the stock market. So a bit about me, I started trading in the stock market in 2018, and I was in my last 2 years of college at that time. In 2019, I made over $50,000 in profits. At the end of 2023, I've now crossed over $1 million in my portfolio. A huge, huge change. Ultimately, I knew I had to find a way to make money for my parents, right? I wanted to retire my parents, and I knew that working a typical 9 to 5 job wasn't going to be the way to pretty much get to where I wanted to be, right? I was about to be in graduate school, tackle on a bunch of student loans, and I knew I was going to be essentially paying that for the rest of my life, just how thousands, millions of people are paying off their student debt every day and just getting by. I know it's like working that 9 to 5, just a mundane job, a job you just despise, and only having a couple $1,000s to your name, or even having a couple $100s to your name, right? I lived in poverty. I lived with my mom, my dad. I slept with my mom, my dad, and my sister all in the same room. Our place was rat infested. I know what it's like to pretty much live paycheck to paycheck. Here's me in my early days of option trading. I got into some great plays. Zoom, you can see I made over nearly $10,000. Tesla, $5,000. But these are the good days. These were when it was the peak bull run, but essentially I ended up losing it all, and that's because I didn't have a system. I'll show you guys in a couple slides to my point. And then that's when I learned you're gonna only be successful trading or investing in the stock market if you have a system. You don't want to just hope, you don't want to just pray to make money in the stock market. Investing or trading into meme stocks are not going to get you that financial freedom that you're seeking. You need to find a repeatable system to follow every single time to predictably and reliably make money in the stock market. Following these systems and proven processes is going to be the key to taking your portfolio to the next level. And here's just a couple of the cars that I pretty much was able to test out, some of the networks that I've gone just through the stock market, meeting a lot of successful entrepreneurs, essentially just touching cars I never thought I was going to ever be in. So the common problem that a lot of traders have is that they have too much risk in their trading, right? A lot of these gurus, these people who are selling signals, it's essentially borderline gambling. It's gambling. It's not meant for someone who wants to reliably make money. It's not sustainable. And essentially it becomes a nightmare for many, many people. People are losing thousands of dollars, their homes, people just putting lots and lots of money down the line, losing it all, their hard-earned money. I know what it's like. I followed these gurus, listened to their signals, and lost thousands of dollars. And at the end of the day, these gurus, these furus, they don't care. They don't care that you're losing these money because you're putting monies into their pocket. And the way I was able to find a way out, I had to pretty much do a lot of feedback why I was losing money. And that's when I got into value investing. I focused on quality stocks that are undervalued. I used key metrics. I focused on the fundamentals of a company, right? I looked into their balance sheet and I started to invest without emotion, right? I wasn't emotional if a trade ever went my way. And that's the way I want everyone else to pretty much tackle the stock market. So stick to your system, and I started identifying entries and proper exits. Here's me losing lots and lots of money. Here's an 890 loss with AMD puts, and here's me making over 100K, end up losing it all just because I got too greedy and I got too emotional that I just was losing thousands of dollars a day. Ended up losing it all in like 1 day, 0 day to expiry options. And that's when I also discovered the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of the results come from 20% of your effort. Would you rather invest in multiple stocks and once you find a stock, explode to generate a small percent of gains, or would you find a couple winning stocks to make the majority of your gains, right? Last year, 20% of my stock portfolio gains was from a couple of stocks. This is all about doing the proper research and knowing when to capitalize on these small windows of opportunities and capitalizing just on those opportunities, right? Value investing is the best and most reliable, predictable way to make money in the stock market. There's no if, ands, buts about it. This is when I started getting more serious about investing and pretty much compounding my gains. I started charting my plays. Pretty much, you can see I made $70 one day, 65, just reliably making money every single day and just using those profits to get into bigger and bigger plays. So undervalued stocks, finding these undervalued stocks is very straightforward, right? It's almost common sense once you understand what it takes to find these undervalued stocks. You can learn more about finding undervalued stocks by subscribing to my YouTube channel, and there's no need to even overthink about it. But overall, in a nutshell, I like stocks that have a RSI under 30, a price to book under 1, a price to earnings growth under 1. And if you guys want my criteria and screening checklist, it'll be down in the my YouTube bio under the video. I started incorporating supply and demand levels, right? Most beginners, they just guess, they just throw their money away into the stock market, just hoping and praying that one of their plays is going to hit, right? They don't do any research beforehand and they just end up losing thousands and thousands of dollars. And that's the way the majority of people trade, surprisingly, right? They're just retail investors. They try to ride a momentum and they sell out when things get scary. I understood that I wanted to be on the side of the winners, the profitable traders, right? These were the institutions. That's when I understood that a lot of these institutions were trading off of supply and demand, right? We're going to be on the side where retail investors are selling. They're scared about these certain stocks, right? You guys have to understand that institutions are what moves the market, right? These are the people, the institutions with billions of dollars to put into the stock market, essentially having a big influence on how the stock market moves. We're going to be buying alongside these institutions. And this is what allows us to succeed on a longer time frame, not just being able to make a couple $1,000s here and there. The biggest thing that I want you guys to incorporate or to practice and hone is being patient and being disciplined in your approach, right? We're going to be buying stocks on a clear downtrend, right? It's very common for everyone to say, always play with the trend. I'm playing against everyone, right? If you're doing what everyone else is doing, what the 99% of everyone is doing, when 90% of traders fail, how do you expect any different results, right? We're not going to be buying off hype. We're going to be getting into companies when the sentiment is low. The goal is to essentially preserve our capital, and buying at these lowest prices, buying stocks at severely oversold values, is going to allow us to capture the safest levels to invest in and trade in, right? And this requires patience and a level of discipline that most retail traders don't have. Many people want to trade every single day when all you need to do is be patient and wait for your levels to hit and capitalize on those opportunities once it arises, right? Let the market come to you. 95% of traders fail because they're not patient, they're too emotional, and they don't have a clear plan, right? You want to come into any investment with predefined entries and exits. You need a system. And if you do this, I promise you guys, you will win. You will be profitable investors and traders. So the reason I pretty much buy into these periods of panic is because if you guys understand about the market cycle and how it plays against your emotion, right? With the stock market, there's the period of hope and optimism and belief and thrill and euphoria, right? Think about when everyone was buying into crypto or buying into GameStop or these meme stocks, right? Everyone was claiming they're going to be rich off of these stocks. And then they come into a period where, oh, everyone's in these stocks already, and it starts to fall down and down and down. People get anxious about their positions. People start getting denial, right? They're into what they believe are solid companies, and they think it's going to rebound, only to find that it ends up falling again. And that's when many people's retail investors start to panic and eventually get capitulated. They end up selling out of these stocks at their all-time lows, and they get very angry about the stock market, right? Only to find out, if they were patient, if they were not emotional, that these stocks eventually recover. It's the simple market cycle. Alright guys, that's the end of my video. I want you guys to leave a comment on what you guys learned from the video. And if you guys have any other questions or anything you guys want me to tackle on, just leave a comment at the end of the video. Thanks.